I'm Elise. I'm a cosmetic tattoo artist from Los Angeles, but I relocated in 2023 for an accelerated nursing program, and I graduate in less than 10 weeks. I am so excited. I'm going to tell you about the application process, labs, lecture, and clinical rotations in this video. I just have my computer here for all my notes, so I keep everything nice and organized for you. Let me start off by saying this program is great. And they meant it when they said accelerated. But let me be grateful because there's programs that are 11 months and I would not be able to handle that. So I chose a BSN program because I already had a bachelor's and an associate's. It didn't make sense for me to get another associate's. And I did apply to a master's program, but I was declined by a school that accepted me for the BSN program, and that threw me off a little bit. Plus, there are 11 to 17 month programs that cater to people with a bachelor's, but for this program, you actually don't even need a degree. And I didn't know that until I was halfway through the program. I wish I knew about this program sooner. As long as you have your prerequisites, your TEAS exam, and your resume, you can apply. So just know, if you have a bachelor's in another field, you can apply to accelerated bachelor programs. And if you have a bachelor's in another field, you can actually apply to master's programs as well. For this program, you do not need a degree at all. Not an associate's, not a bachelor's. You just need your high school diploma, of course. And the application process was pretty straightforward. The only downfall is you have to enter every single college course you have ever taken. That was very tedious. You could pay for it to do it automatically and pull it from your transcripts, but I didn't have enough time. I was actually in Miami at the time, and a counselor told me that they could possibly get me an interview if I complete everything by a certain date, and I only had like a few days. But I was in my hotel room and I got it done. I sat there and did everything I needed to do in order to fill this application out, because the curriculum for this school meets the licensure requirements for all 50 states. I was going to finish that. They also required a short essay, and they only give you notification the day before it's due, and it was due I think at 1, 2 or 3 p.m. the next day. So you have a very short amount of time to do that, and I think they did it like that because they really wanted you to be genuine. And there's no way you can just BS something like that in such a short amount of time, especially when you have a full-time job and other things going on. I landed an interview and it was via Zoom. Everyone logged on, and then you break out into these little breakout rooms essentially. The teachers pretty much invite you to the room and you click it and you go. So I just remained genuine, remained myself and professional. And I pretty much spoke on how I needed to do the personal and emotional and mental work besides your typical required academic work. As far as the prerequisites for the program, you do need 6 units in humanities, I believe 9 units of social sciences, 6 units in electives. You also, of course, need your English 1 and 2, human anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, microbiology, and statistics. And the school only cares about your prerequisite GPA and your science and math GPA. They do not care about cumulative GPA. So if you're someone like me who has a bachelor's and didn't do that great, never thought they could get into nursing school, you can. It's absolutely possible. And did I mention the TEAS score requirement was 56%? I think I got a 76 on my TEAS score. I was devastated. I was so disappointed by that number. I planned to take it again until I found this school, and I saw that their requirement was so low, and the counselor told me that she could get me an interview if all is well with my application, of course, and it was. So again, my TEAS score was 76%. My prerequisite GPA and science and math GPA was 3.6 for both. I received a notification that I've been accepted into the program. Unfortunately, I didn't get the campus of my choice, but fortunately it worked out because I'm so grateful to be at the campus that I'm at versus the other one. It just seemed very live, very busy, very similar to living in LA versus being out here. It's very quiet, very peaceful. So it worked out the way it was supposed to. I have 0 distractions out here. And the seat fee was $200. Compared to that other school, it was $800. The one that I applied for the bachelor's and the master's program, and I only got into the bachelor's program. I don't know. That essay for the master's program was impeccable. I was baffled that I didn't get in, but that's beside the point because we're here now. I didn't realize that I applied to a hybrid program. So the lectures are on Zoom. They are 2 hours long. The shortest is like an hour and a half. The longest is like 2.5 hours. There's quizzes in Canvas that you have to complete. and you have to get a 90%, which kind of sucks because if it's only a 6-question or 5-question quiz, you can't even miss one actually. But it's okay, they help you prepare for the exams. The exams are very similar to the NCLEX apparently. The school tries very hard to just mimic the NCLEX so that we're prepared to take it. In some classes, they'll tell you, hey, these quiz questions are way harder than the exam questions, so don't stress out about it. And in some classes, they're gonna tell you, focus on the quizzes. They're really gonna help you for the exams. I'm glad that I'm in a hybrid program because, like I said, the lectures are on Zoom and they're recorded. I can rewatch it, which I always do. And I heard that the in-person program, the in-person version of the program, lectures are like all day. One of the reasons I don't like lecture on Zoom is because sometimes I'm just not quick enough with unmuting my mic so that I can ask a question. Or sometimes I'm just not quick enough to send my question through the chat for them to answer it and they've already moved on while I'm like mid-typing. So that's probably the only reason. Granted, everyone's pretty responsive and helpful as far as the professors. So you can easily just reach out to them on Teams and they answer. In lab, we have realistic mannequins where we have done Foley catheters, NG tubes, we perform CPR on them. It's pretty cool, but a lot of my classmates don't like lab, especially because we just don't know when to play pretend and when not to. Lab is cool. We have the fake mannequins. We have the hospital beds. We have ventilators, IV pumps, medication drawers. We have a crash kit. There is a private patient room with a mannequin. People who are in the room can't see on the other side. And on that other side are professors that can talk through a mic. They can control the vital signs. They can control everything pretty much, which is pretty cool. I think my favorite part is learning about something in lecture and then going to lab and applying it. It can get a little confusing because sometimes the didactic teachers say something different than the lab teachers or vice versa, and you kind of have to just use your own discretion. The best route actually is to realize lecture is lecture, so go with what your lecture teacher is telling you for the exam. And lab is lab, so go with what your lab teacher is telling you for lab. When something is contradicting or confusing, just keep it separate. Lab overall connects a lot of dots from lecture and real life, and I love that. Clinicals. Clinicals are amazing for the most part. I am so grateful that we get to experience so many different departments. And the reason I say that is because I've heard that the other campus, they don't really get that many different departments. They end up in med-surg back to back to back to back. And that's really disappointing, especially when you don't know what type of nurse you want to be. Clinicals is your opportunity for you to practice all your skills on real people, not just those creepy old mannequins in lab. We get our clinical schedule about 2 weeks prior, so don't try to plan any vacations. We are literally at the school's mercy, and that's what we're here for. That's why it's accelerated, to just learn and get it done. So you are waking up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., getting ready for clinicals. You're meeting your professor 30 minutes before the shift technically starts. We also have clinical assignments that are due every rotation. They're pretty much the same. So one of the assignments, we pretty much do this simulation online where we click through the different tasks that nurses can do. If you click the wrong task, it's going to allow you to play the whole thing all the way through. But in the end, you find out that you use up all your moves. So your score drops and it's just low and you have to start over. So it could be a little annoying, especially because they want us to get a 90% on them. We also have to do concept maps and clinical judgments based off of a patient's diagnosis without including any patient identifiers on there. There's also medication checks and head-to-toe assessments that the professor will come to your department and watch you complete and then check you off online. There are also Zoom meetings, and those are called virtual days, where we pretty much will take up the entire day, work on a case study individually, and then meet on Zoom, and the professor asks each and every one of us different questions and go through the case study together. And I cannot forget volunteer hours. You can only complete those during clinical rotations. You're not allowed to complete them apparently during didactic when there's lecture. Also during clinical rotations, the professor will have us meet at a certain time to discuss how things are going and what we're learning. And that could be in the middle of the shift, or it could just be at the end, and that's the final debrief. I'll go in more detail about clinical rotations in another video part of this series, because I really want to dive into how to prep for clinical rotations, my experience as far as this really mean nurse I had, and go into detail about each department that I've worked in. I've worked in the NICU, ICU, med-surg, the ER, the OR, so many more. I could go on, behavioral facilities. I could go on, but I'm gonna save that for a later video. If you've made it to the end of my video, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for day 2 of the ABSN series.